Okay, so we've not done a brisket on the channel before. It's a Brazilian brisket. Just got to get it out of this. I had to wrap it in cling film because I managed to split this seal on this when I put it in the freezer. So as I was defrosting it, it had a hole in it. So just try and get this out without spilling too many juices. So first and foremost, we need to get rid of a lot of the hard fat. Now on brisket, you tend to have a lot of hard fat. Anything that's really, really thin, you're just going to lose it. So you might as well take it off, trim it off, put it away for another day, freeze it, bag it, use it for sausage or burgers or anything like that. So with that being said, I'm just going to trim a flip it over. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a school there. We can't help that. I'm not going to trim that away. Silver skin, a fair bit of intramuscular fat. You can tell by looking in here and in between. Use that to make beef tallow, burgers and sausages, all good. I'm not going to trim that off. I just want to clean that off. As you can see, it's fairly thick around there. That's as far as I'm going. Personally, this is going to be going in the Weber Summit. There's no need for aerodynamics because it's just going to be, you know, all over. The main thing is trimming it in the respect of getting rid of that real thin stuff that is going to just get wasted if you don't trim it off. I managed to get this from Pro Smoke. It's Franklin's brisket rub. Bottom side up first. As I say, it's a bit of a shame about that gash, but you just can't help it. Just give it a fairly liberal coating. It's a big lump of beef, it can take it. Don't forget those sides, as Chud says, or Bradley. Flip it over. The reason I keep shaking it is because you've got very fine grained salt in there and it's just going to sink to the bottom and then you're just going to be coating it with pepper. So I'll just keep doing that to swirl it and get that mix back up. Just going to lift it up to let any excess fall off. And there you go. It's looking good. What we're going to do is put this in the fridge overnight to dry brine it, and that'll allow the salt to release the juices, moisture out of the meat, and then it will soak all that back in and it'll give you a better bark. Okay, so we're now at the 4-hour mark. This is where I like to just start checking, having a good look, keeping an eye on it, lifting it every 40 minutes to an hour. You don't want to lift it too much, you want it to just carry on cooking, but just now's the time to check and make sure nothing's drying out or anything like that. So let's take a look. It's looking good. Okay, so the camera's not doing it justice, but as you can see, it's getting a good colour to it. It's not drying out anywhere particular yet, so I'm not going to bother spritzing or anything like that yet. It's rendering down nicely, it's looking good, so we'll just get that lid shut and just keep going. That's all we can do. Be patient and just keep on riding. Okay, so we're now at the 5-hour mark. We're going to just lift the lid and have a quick look. Yeah, it's looking good. Nothing's really drying out too much yet, nothing for me to be concerned about. I mean, on video, that looks a bit dry, but it's not too bad, to be fair. I may spritz on the next time I open it up, but I'm not going to spritz yet. I mean, that's still looking good to me. As you can see, it's looking good. You've got a little bit of a pull there, but I'll leave that, that's fine. It's getting a good bark. It's going well so far, so just shut the lid and keep going. That's all you can do. Okay, so we're 6 hours in now. Now's the time you really want to start looking and thinking whether you're going to wrap it or not. I'm not going for any particular temps. I never do with brisket. First brisket video I've done, but I've cooked a lot of briskets. So we'll have a look. I'll show you what I'm talking about in respect of knowing when to wrap. I mean, it's rendered down really well, but I'm getting quite crispy around the outer edges, and I don't want to lose that flat. I don't want to overcook it. So I'm just literally going to wrap this now. Not going to be long. 6 hours in, I reckon wrap this for an hour and we'll be there. And all I'm going to be doing is probing for tenderness, and that's when I know it's done. I'm not, like I say, I never go for temps, but just to show you what I mean. I mean, it's looking good. The fat's rendered down. It's not tacky. You've got a nice wiggle there. But like I say, we're going to lose this flat if we don't wrap this soon. So let's go. Spilt a bit of beef tallow. Right, what we're going to do, a bit tricky this, just going to put a bit of beef tallow on the bottom and then just pour some over the top. It's just going to help keep it moist. Right, that wasn't my best wrap, but anyway. You get the point. Wrap it up nice and tight. Let's get it back in. Keep that as tight as possible around there. Right, so we're going to leave that for a good hour and then we'll start probing it until it's probing like butter, and then it's done. It's as simple as that. Going to get it out. I'm feeling underneath that it still feels jiggly is the way to describe it, and not hard and stiff. Excuse the word. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm just checking. But yeah, it's nice and jiggly. But that, all the way through there is like butter. I say we're not going for temp, but let's just see where we're at. 94 Celsius. Not quite like butter yet. Not far off though. So we'll go another half hour. Okay, so we're just going to check it now. See how it's doing. It's looking good. Right. Let's just check it for probing like butter. Literally. Right, we're there. What we're going to do is pour the rest of the juices from the tray into that, wrap it up, get it in a towel, and just let it sit for a couple of hours. We're just going to sit that in a cooler for 2 hours, and then we'll slice it open and show you guys how we did. Okay, so purely because we've got people coming round for dinner, I'm just going to slice some of this up just to show you guys what it's like. Okay, so as you can see, it is like jelly. It's looking good. So let's get that flat cut. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with that. It's looking very juicy. So let's cut the point in half. Oh, you can see that fat's rendered down nicely. Looking good, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna put that end upright to stop it oxidizing. Let's just get one sliver of the point. And I mean, this isn't mega expensive brisket. It's holding its own. And there's literally no resistance. Let's get a burnt end. Some of the best bites of barbecue. Yeah, that's looking good. I mean, that's definitely the money shot right there, 100%. Okay, let's get a slice of the flat. I need to get this wrapped up again because obviously we've got friends coming round. But yeah, I mean, look at that. You can see that is absolutely perfect. Pull test. It's just nothing to it. Nothing to it. Got to say that Aaron Franklin rub, I was a bit worried because it looked like fine, very fine salt with coarse pepper. That actually works really well. It's not over salty at all. It's a really good rub, I've got to say. Well, there you go, guys. I'd definitely highly recommend, as an affordable, decent quality brisket, definitely from John Davidson's. These are good. Go get you some. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny and it helps us grow as a channel massively. Plenty of videos going out this year. First brisket video on here. So remember, guys, get out there and cook something exceptional. And I'll see you when I see you. Cheers, guys. Well, I've got to get this wrapped up super quick.